How does Common Article to classify armed conflicts in IHL? Imagine a world where the rules of war are clear and fair, protecting those caught in conflict. That's what international humanitarian law aims to do. Today, we're focusing on how it sorts different types of armed conflicts. Common Article 2 of the Geneva Conventions is the main rulebook for this. It says that armed conflicts are classified based on who is fighting. If two or more states are involved, it's called an international armed conflict. This means any fighting between countries, whether or not they officially declare war, counts as an international conflict. The key point here is that the classification depends on what's happening, not what the parties say. If fighting breaks out between countries, it's automatically an international armed conflict. On the other hand, if fighting happens within one country, it's called a non-international armed conflict. This involves clashes between the government and non-state armed groups, or between these groups themselves. For example, a rebellion or civil war inside a country falls into this category. Common Article 3 of the Geneva Conventions covers these conflicts, recognizing they need their own set of rules. The main difference between the two is who is fighting. If it's between countries, it's an international conflict. If it's within a single country, involving government forces and groups, it's non-international. This matters because different rules apply. International conflicts are covered by the full Geneva Conventions and additional protocols. Non-international conflicts are governed by Common Article 3 and Additional Protocol 2. Knowing this classification helps determine what protections civilians and fighters get. In international conflicts, protections are broader, covering prisoners of war and occupied territories. In non-international conflicts, protections focus on humane treatment and basic standards of conduct. Another important point is that the existence of a conflict doesn't depend on a formal declaration or recognition. As soon as fighting starts between states, protections kick in. This ensures that humanitarian law applies right away, regardless of political or diplomatic issues. In summary, Common Article 2 classifies armed conflicts by who is involved. If it's between states, it's an international armed conflict. If it's within a single state involving government forces and non-state groups, it's a non-international armed conflict. This classification helps decide which rules apply, making sure everyone's rights are protected during war.